Let's call the meeting to order. May 16, 2016. It's 9 o'clock, a little past 9. Welcome everyone. Let's open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. Retz.
Here. We have a public hearing, an application for a nonprofit, 1420 East Kirby and the 1400 block of East Kirby.
Good morning. I'm the senior pastor of Faith Center for All Nations Church here in Muncie, Indiana, located at 600 South Blaine Street. And what I'm here for today is ask the commissioners concerning some property that's behind the property that we own on Seymour Street. But the property's on Kirby Street, lots 13 and 14, in the 1400 block of East Kirby. That's south of our church. On the north side of that property, we own from Blaine Street over to Wolf Street, lot 50, 51, where our church building sits on, and then it's the lots 9, 10, and 11. We know that this property is in tax sale, and what we come here for because of the vision that we have for our ministry, and that is to build a family life center. It's going to be a center that not only attends to the needs of our church, but also it's going to be a center that's going to be community oriented. I have a rough draft of what this community will be about. It will be it will be a facility that, if I could give you one of these, I know you don't have time to read all the way through it, but it's going to serve Delaware County and Muncie, and the city of Muncie. And the purpose of it is that we're going to be, I have more than these.
And I need you to state your name for record.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Larry Carther.
I need one, sir. How do you spell your last name?
C-A-R-T-H-E-R. I'm sorry.
Here's an
Well,
extra.
that's okay.
There you go. I had an extra.
Thank you.
Our original plan was, because the property south of us, those two lots, 13 and 14, were being occupied at the time several years ago. But lately, within the last 3, 4, 5 years, the property's been vacated. And so because we checked into it, my wife did. And what we would like to do is now, instead of building our facility across from that property, now we can make it a longer facility by having you to deed that property over to us free of taxes. And again, the purpose of it, you can see it here. Our vision is 3-phase. If you look at it, you can see the purpose of it. Our motivation for it is sports programs such as volleyball, basketball, and other things, dance and drama, educational support and tutoring with and mentoring programs, senior citizen programs and activities, wellness and health fair, exercise and workout program, as well as the spiritual part, worship, praise, prayer services, parenting, workshops, support groups, and seminars, free summer meals. I have a gentleman now that's working with me that can get funds for us to feed during the summer. We already do it every first and third Sunday, where community can come in and dine with us if they choose to do so. And then family life coach. I have people who are qualified in those areas in my church. A doctor of psychology. One of my members has a master's in clinical psychology. I have, my son is here, who is one of the directors at YOC in the detention. His wife is a director and one of the directors at YOC as well. We also, it's not on here, but we're going to have a offenders reentry program. One of my elders at the church worked at Pendleton as a volunteer chaplain for over 11 years. He worked part-time and they paid him salary, so that was part of his job, helping offenders to acclimate back into society. So it's going to be a facility that will not only serve the church, but it's going to be a facility that we want to reach out to the community. This is just a rough drawing about what the facility is going to look like. If you deed that property to us, we're going to revamp this because now we can go longer, where we can only go across from the alley to Wolf Street. Now we can go down toward Kirby Street. And it's going to be a facility that we're working on even right now. I have people that have certain assignments. And so we're asking the commissioners if you would deed that property over to us and release it of the tax that is due on it. We would very much appreciate it, and it will benefit the community as a whole.
What's your crossroads, your north-south roads?
Pardon, ma'am?
What's your north-south roads you're between, Kirby goes east-west, but
Yes, ma'am.
what's the street down
The street that we're on north of it is Seymour Street.
Well,
We're
no,
right,
what block are you, 1400, I'm trying to,
okay, between Blaine and Seymour Street. We're
Blaine.
right across the street from
Blaine.
Mitch's bus office.
oh, okay, thank you,
Thank you, you're welcome.
yeah.
Are there any members, have any questions?
I don't have any questions. Is there anyone else here to speak about this,
For or against?
for or against?
I can't believe anybody did
Project.
it. Sound great,
These are members of my church here.
glad to have them.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I make the motion, we close the public hearing.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, we have an appointment that needs made to the Fair Board.
Make a motion, we appoint Luke Toole to the Delaware County Fair Board.
Second,
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan,
yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes. He'll take the place of Leanne St. Meyer, who had to resign due to her obligations for her employer.
Hadn't heard that.
Table of business, agreement for property exchange between Delaware County Commissioners and Muncie Sanitary District. Mr. Canance?
Good morning, Ed Canancer with FC Tucker.
Hang on just for a second.
Sure.
Morning.
Do we have to take this off the table before we make any decisions on it? I don't believe so.
Okay, good.
Good morning. I'm here to answer any questions you might have. Back about a month ago, I submitted a letter of intent for a trade with the sanitary district and the commissioners on 2 parking lots. I had submitted the letter of intent. I think Mr. Brook was planning to revise it, and I hadn't heard anything, so I wanted to come back to the meeting this morning to get an update. And be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I guess, the question we have, who owns the parking lot currently?
Currently, Scott Boyce at 214. And I might add, the LOI was contingent upon the sanitary district, first of all, the agreement on the letter of intent being signed by both parties, and then the sanitary district purchasing the lot at 214 based on 2 appraisals. And at that time, they would make the trade with the commissioners on the old jury parking lot.
What are you gonna do with the lot? What's the plan for the
My
lot?
understanding is and I was hoping Bill Smith would be here this morning, but my understanding is that they plan to stage that parking lot like they have in the past for some additional projects.
I hope it's the separation down here in the corner of High and And Washington, were you still good?
Sherry, I don't know. I apologize, but I do know that was the intent of securing the lot. Like they did before, when they secured it for the last project, I think they even repaved and striped the lot.
Yes, they
They
did a
did.
very nice job.
So you'd be trading a 19-space lot for about a 42-space lot adjacent to the new jury parking lot.
But as of right now, somebody else owns the lot that you guys want to trade for, correct?
Yes, that's correct. The letter of intent is, it shows
You want
that,
us to sign a letter of intent, then you will purchase the property, right?
yes, sir.
What happens if we sign the letter of intent and something happens to that property?
Then the letter of intent would be void.
I'd like to leave it table until John's.
I would agree. I
John's
think,
here, because I haven't heard really anything else back on this, and honestly, I've said it in the past that they don't own it, but we do own our property. You know, until they own the property, I really am not interested.
I would agree.
If I might make one comment.
Yes, sir.
The conditions to purchase that lot is contingent upon getting the trade of the two lots. The district does not have any interest in the parking lot at 214 if there's not an opportunity to trade the two parking lots. So that's the reason that in the letter of intent, that was written that way, so that it would be contingent upon the signed letter of intent for both parties before the district would move forward in getting two appraisals and closing on the lot.
Okay.
Just the way you do business. I mean, you're not going to buy something you don't need.
I'd just rather leave it table until we talk to John a little bit further.
Well, and I think he needs to take another look at the letter of intent also.
I have a copy that I presented before. I'm happy to leave you this morning if I could.
Sure.
I've still got a copy of it.
And again, I have extended my offer to Mr. Brook to talk about this at any time, and we haven't been able to get together. So
Okay.
I would like to do that as quickly as possible if we could work it out. If we can't, we're going to be missing our deadline here in a few weeks.
So we're holding up a project.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I think we'll miss the deadline. and
We don't
maybe
even know
miss
what
opportunity.
project we're holding up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to keep it on the table then?
I'll make a motion. I don't think we just keep it tabled.
Okay. All right, moving on. Approval of the minutes from May 2nd, 2016.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes. Presentation to the Commissioner, Carrie Bale.
Good morning. My name is Carrie Bale, and I'm the Executive Director of By 5 Early Childhood Initiative. And I wanted to personally extend an invitation to each and every one of you to come to an early or Indiana Summit for Economic Development via Early Learning Coalitions. It's taking place right here in Muncie, Indiana on June 7th. It is free of charge, and it is an opportunity for you to come and learn about why this is such an important aspect of economic development. Hopefully you all had an opportunity to see the article that Mike Hicks referenced yesterday in the Star Press, where he also talked about that this is an incredible opportunity to connect human capacity building to the future workforce development for our community. This is actually a statewide summit. As of last week, we have 250 individuals registered to come from throughout the state. We're anticipating hitting over 400 people. You can click on or go to the website www.elacindiana.org, Indiana Summit. We're partnering with Early Learning Advisory Council, which is the governor-appointed council. We're also partnering with Early Learning Indiana and Ready Nation, which is a national organization working on helping to get businesses involved in the early childhood movement. And I just wanted to highlight two of our keynote speakers. Our featured presenter in the morning is Dr. Judy Cameron. She's in the National Scientific Council for Child Development from Harvard University. She's a neuroscientist, and she's going to speak to why Early brain development is so important to the future of a child as an adult. And then for our keynote presenter at lunch, we have Mr. John Pepper. He's a former CEO of Procter & Gamble and Walt Disney. And he's going to come talk about the business case for investment in early childhood. And if you can, it's an all-day summit, but if you could only come for a portion of that, you can come for the morning, you can come for just the lunch, or you can come for just the afternoon. So you have those options when you register online. And it's, again, we're partnering, and so that it is free of charge to hopefully, so no one has an obstacle to be able to attend. And please help spread the word, because we'd really like to help Muncie and Delaware County shine in the efforts that are taking place here already with this initiative, as other communities are looking to do the same.
Well, thank you so much, Carrie, and so it is really a feather in our cap if we can have a big crowd there to welcome
Absolutely.
these people. And show of hands, how many department heads and elected officials do we have in the audience today? So those are the people we're targeting, plus
Okay.
the pastors, the congregation, and anybody that's interested, because we do know we have to have a workforce ready to go to work. And in 20 years, I mean, we have to start somewhere.
Exactly. I brought more flyers, so I'll be staying, and if anyone would like them, I'd be happy to hand them out afterwards. Any
Thank you so
questions?
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take you as a guest, Pat, if you want to go. Angie, would you like to go?
Contracts or agreements, tax sales support service addendum, Janet Kessler.
Good morning, Commissioners. Janet Kessler, Tax Sale Deputy in the Auditor's Office. Yes, this addendum is for the fall tax sale with SRI, and it lines out some of their duties that they perform and what they expect of us. And the big thing is, as opposed to the one you signed for the Commissioner Certificate sale in June, their fee is, they've raised their fee from $70 to $75.
And this is just for the one-time sale in the fall.
Correct.
Okay. I was going to ask Donna, are we not able to, Donna, to add advertising or postage to the cost so we can recoup something?
There's an extra $25 that we collect that goes for the advertising and for postage.
So we don't have to pay it, Patty?
The $25 goes into county general, and then we request it again to come out of county general to pay those fees.
Are all sales like that? Or
Yes.
just this one?
They're all like that.
That's good news.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. An agreement between the Board of County Commissioners and Hoosier Pride Excavating. Angie?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
John Brook has prepared the agreement between the Commissioners and Hoosier Pride. Once you authorize your portion, I will forward it on to Hoosier Pride to get their signatures, so then we can issue a notice of award and to proceed. And
Make a
again,
motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
thank you.
Thanks, Angie.
And this is the one that's not going to
This is-
start till July 8th or 9th?
We don't have a schedule yet, but they cannot start till after July, close the road until after July 11th.
Thank you. We'll be giving plenty of notice to them.
Right. And I'll keep you up to speed on the schedule as soon as I know.
Okay, thank you so much.
And the next one on the agenda is the Park One Rail Spur signal inspection, which we just got information on that this morning, correct?
Sure.
So we're gonna table that till next meeting?
We'll just leave it off.
Just leave it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
And just
I'll
move
send it to
forward.
Patty to put on the agenda for the next meeting.
And make sure John gets it.
gets it approved.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
It did look pretty good though, but
Yeah.
thank you.
We have mowing bids for the railroad spur, Brad.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Bookout, with Economic Development. I did forward to you bids from 4 of the 5 companies that I requested for bids. The lowest bid is J. Crew at $5,725. This does include 3 annual bush hog mowings of the site, as well as spraying vegetation killer needed areas. And I have all of the bids. If you'd like to see them, review them. I'd ask you to approve J. Crew as a low bidder if you're so inclined.
Well, I was kind of looking at those last night. I thought Arnold's was the low bidder.
Yeah, I did clarify with Arnold. It is, that is, his price is times 3. For 3, that's per mow.
Thank you so much.
That's why that seemed ridiculously
Yes,
low compared
that's
to the
what I
others.
noticed
So,
last
yeah. So that stood out to me as well, and I did clarify with him. So he and J. Crew were only $275 apart on the bid, so they were the 2 lowest.
Right.
J. Crew has performed that work previously in cooperation with the company that did the rail work at the site, so they are familiar with it.
I'll make a motion, we accept the bid from J. Crew.
Second that.
Motion and a second for approval of J. Crew. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Resolutions for approval. First one being 2016-023, resolution of Board of County Commissioners. They can file final determination on tax sale certificate to be assigned to a nonprofit corporation number 4.
I move that we accept the resolution.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve in a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Resolution 2016-24, resolution of Board of County Commissioners identifying tax sale certificate signed to nonprofit corporation number 5.
Janet, excuse me, Janet Kessler, tax sale deputy. Yes, this is another property on 1339 East Main that we've had an interest from a nonprofit. This is the first resolution, as we have done in the past, to set a public hearing. And that would be June 20th, 2016.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2016-024.
I'll second that. I have a question.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Sure, you have a
Do
question
you have a
about
question?
That
that?
wasn't going to be in the June 9th tax sale though, was it? Janet?
Janet, is this gonna be in the tax sale,
This one wasn't going to be in the June 9th tax
the
sale.
commissioner sale? in
I'm
June?
not sure, but once you approve that
That
it
pulls
would
it.
He'll
be
pull it out.
determined, then we remove it from the tax
Okay.
sale.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
$12,000 we could have done.
Resolution 2016-25, resolution assignment tax sale certificate from Delaware County to the town of Gaston.
Mr. President, Brad Bookout, Delaware County Economic Development. We've worked cooperatively with the town of Gaston. This is for the former grain elevator in the town of Gaston. Tanya Hyatt from the Gaston Town Board is here to speak on this. We've worked cooperatively with your legal counsel to prepare this resolution, and it's a good project to get the old grain elevator into the hands of the town so that they can work on some blight removal projects. So,
Thank you.
would you like to say something, Tanya?
Hi, my name's Tanya Hyatt, I'm Gaston Town Board. We've been wanting to acquire this piece of property. It's an eyesore, 1. 2, it's a hazard. We've got kids that want to play in the building, around the building. The wind has blown it over. to where, we have taped it off just to keep kids away from it. But we'd like to acquire it so we can begin demolition of this, get the property cleaned off, and then possibly go forward from there, either sell it or utilize it to build a new town hall or what have you.
Mm. Wow, I didn't realize it was that bad.
It's terrible. We've got other properties in the town too. Eventually, once our money sources start rolling back in.
Well,
Well, we appreciate you wanting to help us.
I'll make a
clean it up.
motion that we accept resolution 2016-026 so the town of Gaston can get this
Second
cleaned
that.
up.
It's 2-5.
It's 2-5?
Yeah. We have a motion and a second for resolution 2016-025. Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes,
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution 2016-26, Board of Commissioners approving the issuance for Delaware County, Indiana Economic Development Income Tax Revenue Bonds.
I make a motion we approve 2016-026.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Approval of 2016-26. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan.
yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Resolution number 2016-027, resolution for assignment of tax sale certificate, Delaware County to the East Central Indiana Regional Planning District.
Mr. President, Brad Bookout, Delaware County Economic Development, we would like to withdraw this resolution. We were informed by legal counsel that a public hearing is necessary, and we will work with your office administrator to schedule that at next month's meeting.
Very good.
Thank you.
Department heads and elected officials, the Economic Development Income Tax Capital Improvement Plan for Delaware County.
Mr. President, Brad Bookout, Delaware County Economic Development. I believe you've approved the correct resolution for this. And we are working at this time to assist you in putting that plan together. We will be meeting individually with county council representatives. And we are on this schedule, I believe. Denise, correct me if I'm wrong, but you do have resolutions for next Tuesday for county council. So we'll be formally presenting at that time.
Brad, I would like to, if you would kind of explain to the public why we had to do the resolution, and then this also, the difference, so the public can keep track.
Okay.
What we just did, why we had to do the resolution, that now we're adopting this, and they're two different projects.
Oh, okay, yeah. For purposes of bonding for economic development income tax, you are only allowed to include capital projects, meaning projects that would be considered bricks and mortar, or projects that would last a longer time. Examples of that would be roads, buildings, building improvements, etc. What would be considered general overhead expenses are not allowed to be bonded. So that's why there are two different amounts between the two. Does that help?
It was very confusing last night, and it was 9:30, and I didn't want to wake you up.
Thank you for not calling.
Joe, I do have a question that might be for legal. Just Thursday or Friday, we got an email from our director of the Board of Health, and he's having trouble keeping up with his staff and his, all these meth houses that he has to go investigate. So on projects 37, would now be the time that we could add health to the public safety fund? Call it the
You're
public
talking about the
health and
health
safety.
department, and it falls under to do with the meth and everything,
Right.
correct? I don't see why we would even have to add that in there because dealing with the meth houses would have something to do with public safety.
Well,
so-
that's true too,
Yeah.
but I would like to add, with that $700,000 that would be available, $233,000 per year, that we could also do some help on education, things like that, and let Jamie run with that. So, do we need to add the word health there? But maybe we can put some money in for education and,
I think it would help clarify,
that's what I was thinking.
but I think you'd get away either way, for exactly the same reason that you said.
So we could tell Mr. Bain that he could have some of this money then?
I don't see why not, if that's what you're using it for.
Okay. My next question is on our bonding for the 8.5, or 8 point, what?
I think it's 8.5.
If, when's the final, if we find out that we've got too much money in here after you talk to all the council members? We can't go over, but we could go lower, right?
I would certainly imagine, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
got
I'd like to
that.
also let you know that Tanya Hyatt and the Gaston Town Board, working in cooperation with your legal counsel, did approve a resolution last Thursday night for the town to officially join the county's edit plan.
Well,
So that's good news. So now all of the surrounding towns are
Yes,
participating.
it is, because I know for several years, we tried to get Gaston to go into the edit
Yeah.
plan with all the other small towns, so we could help them the same way that we've been helping all the other small towns around here, so.
Tanya's taken part in the ECI Regional Planning District meetings, so it's very good. We're getting Gaston up to speed.
and we also want the other taxpayers to know too that just the town of Gaston didn't join, but people half a mile out, you know, they've been paying into this and they shop downtown Gaston. We want them to keep it. So they've been paying in, so it's well worth us to help them, even though they weren't a member. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your motion on that.
Motion to approve the plan?
I'll make a motion to approve the Economic Development Income Tax Capital Improvement Plan of Delaware County through July 1st, 2016 to June 30th, 2019.
Second.
A motion to approve and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Jason?
Good morning, Commissioners. Jason Rogers, Director of Emergency Management. I've got the EMS monthly write-offs for April 2016. Account receivable write-offs is $357,902.64. I ask that you make a motion to write that off.
I make a motion to write the amount that Jason just gave, the $357,902.64.
Second.
Motion approved, second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. I just want to speak, I know that seems like a lot of money. We speak to the success of our new building program. We're on track for a significant increase this year in the amount of money that we're being able to bring back in because of the IDC 10 billing changes, with the way our employees are writing their medical reports. We've done quite a bit of extensive training as to exactly what is expected of them to be successful in working within the parameters of what are allowed to be billed for insurance companies. So hats off to the employees for changing what they've done over the past 40 years to make it more profitable for our billing company and ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones?
Good morning.
Hi.
Today I'm actually here because I had the opportunity to take a flight with what they call an Indy Honor Flight. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
But what it does, it actually recognizes World War II vets, Vietnam vets, gives them an opportunity to go out and see all the monuments, memorials, things of that nature. And today I brought a special guest, Mr. Junior Howe. And Junior is, can I spill the beans on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Junior's 90 years old, soon to be 91 years old. He's a former Marine, World War II vet. And I had the opportunity to take that flight with him out to Washington, D.C. And a couple of the things that we were able to do was actually to go see. They have, for every state, they have like a statue, so to speak. I want to call it that, for the World War II monument. So we were able to get pictures done with that. We were able to see the State House. We were able to see the Capitol. We were able to see lots of different things. But I just wanted you guys to get an opportunity to meet him and see kind of what we did or hear what we did.
You might tell them what the kids did at the end with the letters. With the letters.
Oh, yeah. So a big thing in World War II was mail call. I don't know if you guys know about that, but I know he does. And it was mail call. And I know when I was in Afghanistan, that was a huge thing, was to receive some mail. So on our flight back home, they had mail call. And sure enough, we had about, what'd you say, about 50 people, Junior? 50 kids and people?
Yeah.
About 50 letters that were written to him, just thanking him for his service.
Stack.
Yeah, big stack. Just thanking him for his service. And I just thought it would be a good time to maybe recognize him and just at least give him a round of applause for his service. So thank you. Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, can I sit down?
Yeah.
Nate, thank you very much. And Nate, is there a flyer or number we could put on the TV or public, how they nominate someone?
Yeah, actually, I can get it to you. Maybe I'll bring it to the next commission.
Well, give it to Mark this week as he's editing, and he can put that underneath if
So
someone else.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So just a reminder to everybody, if you guys know a World War II vet, a Vietnam vet, I actually know one of the main guys that puts this on for the Indy Honor Flight. And you'd be surprised how this all started. It started by a doctor taking one of his relatives on a flight in his private plane. And then he had such a good time that it all started from there. Now they're like, I was number 16, the 16th flight that's done this. You know, I got a chance to see Audie Murphy's gravesite, which I don't know if you know anything about Audie Murphy. Got an opportunity to see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, seeing the changing of the guard, seeing the memorial for the space shuttle that got destroyed years ago. So if you know anybody, come up see our office. We can get you in touch with whomever to get you on that trip. So.
And I know one of the blessings is they usually put some of these former veterans in a wheelchair if they request one.
Junior was stubborn. He wasn't going to sit in a wheelchair.
Well,
So.
I can appreciate that,
Yeah.
but the ones that do have a wheelchair,
Yep.
it's all handicap accessible.
Yeah.
And an assistant or
Yes.
a family member.
So I was considered a guardian.
A guardian.
Yes.
Allowed to go.
Yep.
And it's an early rise flight. You have to be down at Indianapolis early.
Yep.
And it's a long day, and they bring you home, and then don't they even have some time to welcome people to?
Yeah, actually there was well over 4,000 people to welcome us home, which is huge. I mean, if you think about that amount of people.
And so with Mark's help, you could also, I'm sure they could use some more money too.
Absolutely. It's all donations, so I donated $400 to be a guardian to do this, which I'm okay with. I'm perfectly content with doing it because it gave me an opportunity to see some things that I wanted to see as well. But they get to go for free. They feed them. I got a picture that's being sent home to him that's a huge picture of when he was a Marine. Far back, right? Former Marine,
While
right?
back,
While
yeah.
back. Was that in Japan? Was that picture in Japan?
I did.
Yeah. So, anyways, he got that, and then we got a hat that he was able to keep that just says that he's a World War II vet. Honestly, it just gives him an opportunity to put some closure to some of those things that they did back in World War II.
And Nate, how long a wait was it when you made your application to the flight? To the
actually, I did my application. We got selected the very next flight.
Well,
So.
that's because you might know somebody.
No, absolutely not. Actually, that wasn't the case. They were actually looking to fill. That's why I'm saying it to you all. If you guys know, even a Vietnam War vet,
So they're still needing people to summer.
they still want it. They really want to get the World War II vets out before.
Right, and how often do they fly?
Before they're out.
I think they fly about. They do it 3 or 4 times a year, but they do like multiple flights at a time.
Okay.
So like this one that we went on, there was 2 flights. There was one the following week that was going to be 3 flights. So it depends on they charter their planes. So they with all this money they raise, they basically hire an airline to charter all these guys. Matter of fact, we didn't go through TSA. I mean, we went through TSA, but they didn't. Pretty sure Junior's not going to be carrying a bomb on him. So they basically scanned us all before we even got to the airport. Then we got on the buses and stayed secure from there.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you so much
Yep.
for the update, because I did know that it's a very popular program, and
Yeah.
they just need more people to sign up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So much.
You know, our VA office with Nate, Jenny, and Ray in there are doing amazing things for our veterans. And Nate, Jenny, Ray, we're very grateful for you guys and the job you're doing down there. That's amazing. Junior, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And just one thing, once a Marine, always a Marine. He's not a former Marine.
Well,
You can tell I'm from the Army, right?
No.
Well, thank you very much. We like good news once in a while, don't we?
I think we do.
Is there anything else?
We got payment of
Those clerk reports.
Yeah, we have the clerk of the circuit court report. Sorry, Ray, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
I didn't see,
What's he
I
standing up?
apologize.
He's so
He started
skinny.
to walk out.
He's so skinny over there, see, we don't see
Losing
him.
weight.
That's what it was, Ray, I couldn't hardly see you.
Yeah, Ray Dillard, Delaware County Sheriff. So James had asked me to come up here and talk about an event that we got coming up in June, which is our first annual kids camp.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
First annual kids camp. It runs from June the 20th to June the 23rd. All the mentors or the instructors are going to be not only our department, but officers from all the surrounding areas as well as Muncie. We've got an eventful week planned. We have a Public Safety Day Monday, which is out at AMA. We'll have area fire departments, the SWAT teams, canines, EVOC course set up. Jason Rogers will be there with the EMS as well as with the new hazmat vehicle. The National Guard will be there as well. I think Tuesday we go to Mount Pleasant Township for the firing range. Wednesday is an all-day event at Prairie Creek with DNR. And DNR brings all their officers with water rescue, boating, scuba diving, and then their speedboat. And then Thursday will be a camp adventure for the day, teaching them about team building events. Each one of these, we got about 100 kids that we're going to take this first year. It's totally free to them. We actually had a company, I'm not at liberty to say their name yet, but they actually donated $2,500 to the camp. So they're the main contributor this year. So, like I said, it's a good event. Muncie School Corporation is feeding the kids every day for free. Cousin Vinny's donated 25 pizzas to the event. Some other people donated 1,200 waters to the event. So M&M Bus Company is donating 3 buses with drivers for the event. So it's turned out it's going to be a pretty good event. The reason why I started this is Randolph County and Henry County both has had a kids camp for the last probably 20 years. Mm-hmm. And every year they get more and more kids involved. And we went down last year, we went over to Randolph County and actually met a deputy and 2 correctional officers that went through the camp, their camp, and inspired them to be in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. So it's a good thing. Like the officer said over there, they run into their kids all the time on the street.
Yeah.
And they remember them, so it's a good event for them. So we took flyers out to all the junior high schools in Delaware County, as well as any of the community centers. Unity Center has one, Boys and Girls Club has them, Ross Center and Bewley Center all has flyers. We have it on our webpage as well as on our Facebook, advertising it, and it's downloadable applications. I think as right now, we got about 45 applications.
Okay.
We're gonna try to cut it off at 100, but if we get 119, we're not gonna turn the 19 kids away, so.
Right. Well, congratulations. I didn't bring this out today and I forgot. But this is just wonderful because that way they get to know you and you get to know them and build that relationship.
Yeah, ages is between 12 and 15 is the ages we're taking.
Yeah, that's what
You
that
have sign-up sheets at the sheriff's office?
Yes, we do.
Ray, one thing I did, being a food, gluten-free, if you could get a diet for the kids, because some of them allergies.
That's why we're having it at the Muncie School Corporation is donating the lunches.
Okay.
We're going actually to Southside Middle School for the lunches, so they'll have a choice of whatever it is they need.
Very good. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
All
Ray.
right, thank you, Ray.
Sounds wonderful.
Anyone else? All right, we'll go on to the reports. We received a report from the clerk of the city court, or circuit court, I'm sorry. We also have the monthly treasurer's report. We have payment of claims for $688,763.59.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Questions or comments from anyone else? Ray, would you like to speak on anything? All right.
No, my farmer in here.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'll make a motion to recess.